All right, had to bring back that intro after such a long hiatus. Welcome everyone to Hate Live Podcast, episode 4 since it's been out of beta. Although it's kind of funny because the first 3 episodes were all in January, and today is March 20th, 2014. And you might say to yourself, what the heck happened, Phil? You know, Hate Live was a pretty consistent show that you were doing last year, with the exception of a few times when there was a lot of gaming overload, or if I was doing my show Ask the King instead, of Hate Live. And you're absolutely right. I fully agree with you. I've gotten so caught up this year, especially the month of February and March, with all the new releases that have come out, that I have just been completely inundated with stuff to do, gameplay-wise. And I've actually found it difficult, being completely, transparent here, to find a way to balance the uploads of all the gameplay that I'm doing. A lot of the games I've been playing are so freaking long that it's hard to balance. Gee, do I do 10 videos today of this? Do I do more or less of it today? I have 3 games I'm juggling in a week. Do I upload this on this day or this on this day? Is this too long of a wait to wait for the next batch of this? How do I keep people appeased? It's been pretty difficult. And this is a unique thing that I'm now facing now that I have changed my upload style for the past year, and I make it that I play different games at the same time on different streams. So I'm adjusting. I hope that it hasn't been too much of an overload for you guys. At least still have consistent subscription growth on my channel, DSP Gaming. So it's not like people are leaving in droves saying it's too much or it's too confusing or whatever. I think one of the big things, the major changes since the last time we actually did a Hate Live that's been a huge, huge help is that my website, thekingofhate.com, has officially relaunched. The homepage of the website has a schedule for my live streaming. It also has a schedule for my YouTube uploads. It has links to all of the content right there. So, unlike how it used to be where things were everywhere, willy-nilly, oh gee, is Phil going to be streaming on Twitch? How do I find out? Do I have to switch his whole Twitter account? What's going on DSP Gaming? What's going on his vlogs channel? What's going on here and here? And it was confusing. There was content everywhere, and you didn't have one focal point to focus your attention on to know what I was doing. Now you have that in thekingofhate.com. And I really hope that you will, if you are watching this podcast, obviously, whether on Twitch or on YouTube, you give it a shot. Because it is a lot of work that was put into it. And I have to say special thanks to anyone who contributed. Obviously, the homepage is primarily Ryan JMB, who is also now a moderator on my stream chat for Twitch streams. I want to say special shout out to him. Obviously, Beachy and Hazard, who completely set up the whole thing behind the scenes with the hosting company, and they work on the forums, and they're continuously monitoring to make sure that everything works properly. And speaking of the website, I just want to throw this out there. The contest, the giveaway that I've been talking about for a long time is going to happen starting next week. This is the big announcement. This is the first day I'm announcing this. It's starting next week. What I'm going to do is a special video on Monday. This video will explain the rules of the contest. It will explain how can you win a PS4. That's right, a PlayStation 4 I am giving away. Everyone is eligible, okay? Although there's going to be some priority given to people who are paid subscribers on my Twitch TV channel because I want to give back to them. It's a way for me to give them something because they're, helping support my efforts here on Twitch and also continuously on YouTube. So that is coming on Monday. I will release a video, and it's, the big rules and everything will be released, publicly disclosed, and you'll be able to enter starting Monday. Now, it's not going to be a quick contest. It's going to be an ongoing contest. I'm going to probably start it this week and have it run all through the first half of April when I'm not going to be here because that's right. I've mentioned this before, but now we have a definitive date set. Starting the first week of April, around the middle of the week, I'm going to be busy, okay? Starting April 2nd. I'm not going to be available again to do any live streaming or new gameplay until, let me actually find the date before I misspeak here. Saturday. Okay. Saturday, April 12th will be the day when my girlfriend Leanna will be going home. And so that night I'll probably do a stream, okay? So why am I not going to be available around that time period? It's because I'm going to be house hunting. I'm going to be out and about with my girlfriend Leanna. We're traveling across the country, and I'm not going to tell you where. There are 3 potential locations, all right? We've got Florida, in particular I keep forgetting the name of it because Leanna knows more about it than I do. God, I can't remember the name of the area. Paradise, Florida, something like that. The Dallas, Texas area, and the Seattle, Washington area. Those are the 3 areas we are considering and perusing homes in that area. And so starting next week, Leanna and I are going to jump on this website, look at potential homes that are for sale in this trip that we're taking. And when we go out there, we're going to ask to see some of them. And if fingers crossed, we find something that we love, we're going to begin the process to move on it and try to buy it. The sooner we're out of Connecticut, the better. It's going to, just trust me, it's going to give you so much more entertaining content. You're going to get to see the move, the new place, the setup of the new place, my new office once it's in effect, the new living room once it's in effect. My content's going to increase in quality because I'm going to have a dual monitor setup in an office finally, so I could do PC gaming on the fly with no problems and no, oh, is it capturing, is it not capturing? I'm going to be able to monitor what I'm doing and see, wow, this is exactly what the quality of the video looks like right here in front of me. Instead of right now, it's over here on a monitor 1,000 feet away on the other side of my living room. I can't even tell if there's a problem, okay? Green screen, something I wanted to do for 100 years. I have a green screen. I could put it behind me in my office, hang it off a wall, and be, transparent. So when I'm doing face cam for certain playthroughs, such as Dark Souls 2, you don't see all the shit behind me. How cool would that be? It's going to be amazing. All the new filming locations. I have ideas for 2 whole new series that I haven't started yet because I just don't have filming locations to do it. Once I have a new place, I'll have filming locations. It's going to be great. So I got to make moves on this, and it begins in April. And if we're really lucky, we find something we like. If not, at least we get a nice little kind of semi-vacation, and at least we have an idea of the different neighborhoods and stuff that are nearby to this area we're traveling to see where we want to focus on looking in the near future, okay? But in addition to that, we're going to be vlogging, just like we always do. We're going to be not only checking out the areas where we're looking to live, but we're also going to be checking out major cities in these areas. So it's going to be awesome. Not only is it's a little bit of vacation combined with house hunting, and you get to see all the vlogs of that on the King of Hate Vlogs is where we're going to upload them. So that's going to be those 2 weeks. Now, by no means do I want you to think there'll be no content at all those weeks. What's going to end up happening is, right now I'm in the middle of Dark Souls 2, but very shortly tomorrow, and this is going to be a big part of the stream, we're going to talk about this, Infamous Second Son is coming. It's one of the most hyped games of the year. I'm incredibly excited for this game. I wish there was a midnight release in my area, but there's not, which is a big bummer, but we're going to talk about that, okay? But you're going to have the whole playthrough of Infamous Second Son, of which I'm probably only going to be uploading, 10, 15 videos a day. But the game's going to be long, so it's going to carry you through the week. And then I'm going to have bonus footage, I'm sure, saved up that I'll go ahead and I'll upload while we're out house hunting, okay? Whenever the conclusion of Dark Souls 2 happens, which I don't even know at this point, and other stuff. There's going to be stuff that I play during the course of this week so that I accumulate footage that we'll upload while we're gone or I'm busy. So there will be footage. It's not going to be constant or nonstop, but there will be new videos while we're gone. It's not just a dead first half of April, okay? And then when we come back, in the second half of April or whatever it is, the end of that second week, then I'm going to jump into new stuff, some new exciting things that I have planned. In fact, a new game that I want to start and a few other things, okay? So, that's the rough plan for April. So that's what I mean. I want to get this contest, this PS4 giveaway started so you guys can start entering, give you about a month's worth of time to enter, and then when I come back from house hunting, maybe we'll close it off, and then we could do the live winner, which is awesome. And, a lot of people are going to say, Phil's doing this as a gimmick. Phil's trying to get something out of it. Listen, I want to genuinely give back to the fans. And when I had the opportunity to have a second PlayStation 4 that I don't need, I said, what the hell if I can give it back and, some lucky guy who watches my content, who supported me for years, ends up winning, or gal, by the way. I don't just mean guy, but gal. There's female viewers of mine as well. That would be freaking sweet, And what a good feeling it'll give me to know that someone out there is enjoying an next-gen console that maybe couldn't get their hands on it. So that's going to begin on Monday, and I'll give you more details on that. What I want to do right now, this first segment, is I want to literally go through the game releases that have come out in February and March and talk about each one a little bit, give you my honest feelings on them, because every one seemed to have a little bit of a twist that I had a little bit of feeling on. A lot of them I didn't get a chance to review, okay? And that'll get you up to speed because I haven't done a Hate Live in a month and a half. Maybe you haven't been watching all the playthroughs. I'm going to tell you everything I've been up to, okay? And that'll be the segment 1, really. Obviously ending with Infamous Second Son, which I'm going to talk and hype about because I'm real excited about it. And segment 2 of the show tonight is going to be discussing internet issues going on with content creators, in particular gamers on the internet. People who, just like me, daily make new YouTube videos, do live streams on Twitch. They're trying to make a living doing this like I do. And some are way more successful than me. Some aren't as successful as me. But no matter who they are, everyone for the past couple of months have collectively been coming out and publicly talking about stuff that they never used to talk about. For example, stress levels, hatred and negativity all over the internet permeating people's content when really they're, what did they do to deserve it? To the fact where it's actually having health effects on a lot of people who we're going to bring up. Adblocker, and how so many people now have adopted this ad blocking software and they don't really understand the repercussions of what they're doing. And of course there are some who do, and they're just doing it because they're trying to actually hurt the person who they're watching the content. But there's others who don't realize what's going on. And again, more content creators than ever are coming out and saying, stop it, you're killing us, all right? And this is going to be, I'm sure, a controversial segment of the show, but I wanted to talk about it a month ago when these YouTubers were coming out and talking about it, but I was so busy with gameplay that I never got to it. So that's going to be our second segment of the show. And then our third segment of the show, as usual, is going to be live callers. They're going to call in via Skype, and they're going to give their opinions on everything we talked about, whether it's games, whether it's the giveaway, whether it's the YouTube controversies and issues going on, whatever it is, they'll be able to call in via Skype and ask their questions, all right? So, let's talk turkey. Let's talk about, starting with the last show that I did of Hate Live, which was January 28th, what games came out in the month of February. Well, the very first one that comes to mind that was a big one that I enjoyed was Fable Anniversary. This was an HD re-release of the classic game Fable for the original Xbox, the open world RPG where you can play it however you want. You could be a magic user, you could be a melee combat person, you could, from the get-go, there's a giant skill tree that you can unlock with experience points with no limitations. So you can literally unlock whatever skills you want whenever you want as long as you have the experience points to do it. So what are my feelings about the game? I enjoyed it a lot. First of all, a lot of people say that they think Fable 1, the classic original Fable, was the best in the trilogy. Well, I'm here to tell you, out of all of the 3 Fable games that I played, I think that I probably honestly enjoyed Fable 2 the most, and the reason I did is because it was the first one I ever played. It was my introduction into this new universe. I had never played that style of game before. And so just being that, also it was one of the first games where I did a playthrough of on YouTube. And it was a unique experience every day when I was playing to upload the videos and see people's reactions to what I had done in the game that day. So for me, that was probably the most fun. But if you want to talk about overall the best gameplay, I have to say I do think Fable 1 had the best gameplay out of all 3 games because of that completely customization aspect from the get-go. Now, don't get me wrong, the game has flaws. This Anniversary Collection, there were some game bugs. The game crashed a few times, locking up my console, forcing me to replay segments. If anything, though, the good news is that there are great checkpoints in the game. So when the game did crash, I was able to resume usually and not lose a ton of content of the gameplay that I was doing. But it was still frustrating at times when that happened, okay? So Fable Anniversary, a great game. I'm glad that I played it and now I've experienced the full Fable trilogy. That's kind of one of those gems that you may not check out because you're like, it's just an old game or whatever. That's a cool, it's kind of relaxing to play through, I would say. It's not like a super frustrating or anything playthrough. That's a good, if you have some time to kill one day and you're just chilling out and you want to have a tall glass of lemonade or a beer and kick it back and watch a fun, easygoing playthrough, that's probably the one you want to check out, okay? Oh boy, now guess what we're about to talk about. Hold on. This game, right here, this game, single-handedly, in my opinion, destroyed the Final Fantasy franchise, jumped the shark, basically showed that Final Fantasy and the creative directors of the game don't know what they're doing anymore, to the point where they don't even understand what people want in a video game. And this game might set back Square Enix about a decade. That's how fucking bad this game is. Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns is one of the worst role-playing games I've ever played. It's quite honestly, by leaps and bounds, the worst of the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. It may be the worst Final Fantasy game ever made. And I don't say these things lightly, I mean them. That fucking game is just unacceptable with what it does. The majority of gameplay in Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns is fetch quests, going from point A to point B, finding an item or fighting a monster who will drop an item, going back to point A, then you go to point C, then you go to point X, then you go to point G, then you go... And that's the whole fucking game. The plot makes next to no sense, incredibly far-fetched, and I know that's saying a lot, because the past two Final Fantasy 13 games were really fucking out there. This one is just like, you can't suspend your disbelief, just fucking go with whatever. Smoke a doob, fucking inject heroin into yourself, because you're gonna need it for this fucking dumbass plot. The main character of the game has no fucking personality. She's got as much personality as a fucking stick. So they should have just named her Stick, because lightning really doesn't fit the character. And she's been like that since the first game. So why the fuck they thought she would be a great protagonist for the game, I have no fucking clue. The game is incredibly long, but not for the right reasons. It's long not because there's great varied content and so much to do. No. It's long because they put in 5 billion fucking fetch quests that are timed, that you can only do them during a certain portion of the day, and you have to wait for those portions to come up. The combat is awful. The combat is not Final Fantasy. They've turned it into you're a single person now who switches between classes, which basically completely changes the way that your character fights. It's not very interesting in my opinion, because I've played better combat engines. Now that's where a lot of people will differ on their opinions, and they'll say, oh, no, I actually liked the combat of Final Fantasy Lightning Returns. That's fine if you did. I personally think that other combat engines used in other Final Fantasy games are far superior to this, that this was actually a step back from the combat engine they had in Final Fantasy 12, and I'm sorry, Final Fantasy 13 too. See how it's easy to get them confused? But by the way, you want to know why it's different? Because they fired the guy who did the combat engine for parts 1 and 2, and they had some new idiot think that he could redesign it for part 3, and he fucking failed. This game, the biggest insult about this game is that if you don't buy the strategy guide, or if you don't use an online FAQ, there are things in the game that are impossible to find out without massive amounts of trial and error. The problem being this: the game is timed. And if you don't do those things during the certain periods of time, you run out of time and the game ends, and you're forced to replay it as a new game plus. It's a completely flawed model, and it's incredibly unacceptable in a game in 2014 to have bullshit archaic fetch quests like this to have to be the majority of the game and to force you to replay the fucking game if you don't buy the fucking strategy guide to know what to do and when. It's garbage. It's a piece of fucking shit. If someone walks up to you and says, oh, I have this copy of Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, and I'm going to pay you $40 to play it, you know what you do? You take the $40 and you pull out your lighter and you fucking burn it in front of the guy. You take the copy of the game and you shove it up his fucking asshole where it belongs. Because this game is a piece of garbage and no one should be subjected to it. It fucking sucks. It's an insult to gamers. It's an insult to anyone who's played the entire series and now you want to see the ending to the story, because the ending blows. The ending's fucking shitty. I saw it. It's crap. It's garbage. Don't subject yourself to this fucking stinker. God damn it. I'm sorry. I was very opinionated about that one. And I know what am I going to do with this fucking stupid strategy guide I fucking spent all that money on for what? Piece of shit. Okay. What's next? Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which I played with John Rambo. Now, I did a full review of this one, so I'm not going to go too much into detail. I'm basically going to say this. It's exactly what you would expect from a Donkey Kong Country game, incredibly similar to the last one that was a Wii exclusive. This one's a Wii U exclusive. If anything, though, the one bummer here is that if you're using the Wiimote, you actually find out the Wiimote is delayed. That's right. The Wiimote is actually delayed during this game. And because of that, you actually will miss jumps. You'll have problems. John used the Wii U Pro controller, and there was no delay at all. So, if anything, this is proving that Nintendo's gimmicky bullshit motion controls, it's not for the modern era. It's not for the HD era. It doesn't even work. It doesn't even sync with the game. It's delayed, and it's bullshit, and basically they need to fix their shit if they're really going to progress as a console. Unfortunately, what I have to say here, with this playthrough, it wasn't necessarily the game that I was surprised at. It was actually the reaction to the playthrough. When we played Donkey Kong Country, whatever the hell it was called, back on the Wii, whatever it was called, I don't remember the name of it. Donkey Kong Country Returns it was. People loved the playthrough, and it got tons of views, and people were really excited about it. This time around, it was like no one really was excited. Like, there was no hype. I was trying to hype it. Wow, we're going to do Donkey Kong Country. We're like, it's another Nintendo platform, a big deal. And it was kind of almost, it really was almost the same when we played Super Mario 3D World back in December, and we continued it in January. People were like, it's another Nintendo platformer. And what a difference of, you know what I mean? Of from one to another, just a few short years, how the mentality of the internet shifts. And I think, honestly, it's really a major reason is because the Wii U didn't sell well. The Wii U is a joke as a console. Third-party developers refuse to develop for it. And Nintendo's in dire straits right now. And I think a lot of people just don't want anything to do with Nintendo. They feel that Nintendo abandoned them with this Wii U, that it's a horrible console, and they just don't care. And a lot of people aren't watching, aren't playing, just don't care about Nintendo anymore. And what a shame it is, because as I said, I grew up with Nintendo. You know, I was one of the biggest fans of Nintendo. I would say the Super Nintendo Entertainment System is my favorite game system of all time up to now. And the fact that these people have pissed away any kind of a market share or lead that they had is just ridiculous. That they really did have a flash in the pan, lucky hit with the Wii, and just didn't know what to do after that, and completely squandered anything that they had. And it's just a shame. And I hope that eventually, here's what I'm looking at. I was saying earlier this year, this is the year of Nintendo. Because we've got Super Mario 3D World, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, coming up shortly, Mario Kart. You're probably going to have Smash Brothers. You're going to have Bayonetta. And I actually believe they announced one other game since then, all Wii U exclusive. I don't think so anymore. I don't think Nintendo's coming back from this. I think that whoever bought the Wii U has it. And they're not. Who's going to buy a Wii U just to play Mario Kart? The only thing that may sell Wii U's is Smash. You know what I mean? Because there's a competitive Smash community. But outside of the competitive community, again, okay, so you were really a big fan of Smash on the GameCube and on the Wii. Do you want to drop $350 to play the next Smash? I don't hear a chorus of yes. You know what I mean? A lot of people are saying, no, we're going to forego it. So, unfortunately, I don't know what's going to happen with Nintendo. But Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, a great game that most people didn't really get any interest in. And it's a shame. What else did we have? Okay, moving on from that, we actually had, the week after that, Thief. Thief for the PS4, which kind of was just an anomaly. And I did do a review of the game, so again, if you want the full explanation, you can do that. You can go watch that video. But what a game that just suffered from identity crisis. You can tell what happened here. So Thief, for those of you who don't know, was a PC exclusive game back from like the late 90s, early 2000s. It had like 2 sequels. And what it was a sneaking game. No, it didn't have super crazy combat or FPS shooting or anything like that. Really, it was all about stealth. And if you got detected, you die. You couldn't really fight hand to hand. So you had to stay undetected the entire time. And really, that was the series that introduced the sneaking style stealth gameplay to the first-person shooter genre. Now, Twitch, what the hell? Thief has been gone for a while. All right? They've been gone for a good, half of a decade, if not longer. And during that time period, you had other games that adopted that sneaking style kind of gameplay, such as Deus Ex Human Revolution, such as just recently Dishonored. And these games really did a good job of integrating it and making it one way to play those games, but not the definitive ultimate one way to do it. In those games you could also just do combat. You could play them like an FPS game. You could teleport. You could do all kinds of stuff. So really, what games did is they took the sneaking formula and expanded upon it and made it so that you can be whatever you want. When Thief came back, this time around, I think what they realized is, well, we can't just do a pure sneaking game again because people will say that our gameplay is archaic and outdated. What they ended up doing was making a game very similar to something, say, like Dishonored or like Deus Ex Human Revolution. And when a lot of people played it, they were like, I'm not blown away. And you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've played this game before. And that's really what the problem with Thief is. You feel like you're playing an inferior version of other games you played recently that were much better. And the plot is a little bit convoluted, but interesting. The graphics on the PS4 were great, except for the fact that there were tons of bugs. The game is unpolished. The game has audio jitters where 100 people will be talking at once, and it sounds like there's a crowd, an angry mob outside ready to kill you, when really there's one dude walking down the street. The game has frame rate drop issues in the cutscenes. Huh? Of anything in a game, you wouldn't expect a fucking frame rate drop in a cutscene, but it does, and it has tons of them. So really unpolished and unrefined. The ending sucks. It's open-ended. There's no definitive yes or no answer as to a certain question that's posed at the end of the game. And it really is disappointing because now people were saying, oh, there might be DLC that'll flesh that out. Fuck all that shit. You already bought the full game. You don't pay DLC to get the real ending. So if anything, I'm not saying that the Thief reboot is bad. I'm just saying it lost its identity somewhere along the way, and you might enjoy it as like a rental, but you're not going to want to replay this game more than once, especially once you've looted things once. Why would you want to go loot everything again? I mean, it's incredibly repetitive and boring to do that. So it's all right. Watch the review for my full score and all that. But now another game that, what the fuck? I mean, talking about a game that you say, what the fuck happened here? Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 is just one of the most misguided, zany games I've ever played in my life. It actually takes Dracula from the end of Lords of Shadow 1, puts him into modern times where he's incredibly weak, where he can die with 2 hits, and literally any monster in the game, it's almost like Dark Souls. They can kill him in a couple hits, which is ridiculous. He's supposed to be the Prince of Darkness, this ridiculously powerful character. Hell, he's the end boss of every Castlevania game besides Lords of Shadow. Now he's a fucking wimp. And I even said, if this is modern times, right? You know, how modern can they get? Let me tell you how bad this game jumps the shark. It's got Dracula scaling trains like an action movie. This literally was a scene from Mission Impossible 2, I think, where he's climbing the train, he's dodging lights that are coming by in the tunnel, and people are shooting at him. And then there's a segment, I cannot believe this was in the game. He gets on a gas canister. He stands on it like he's about to surfboard. He lights the canister on fire. It explodes. And he air surfs the canister across a street. That's when Castlevania jumps the shark, ladies and gentlemen. And that's when I say, no mas. I will not put another $1 into the Lords of Shadow series. But anyway, admittedly, that's fine. Because guess what? It's canceled. That's right. The guy who developed Lords of Shadow is no longer working on anything Castlevania related. The guy who worked on the team who worked on Mirror of Fate, the DS side-scrolling game, they're also gone. So this Castlevania right now is dead in the water. This game single-handedly killed the Castlevania franchise by being so fucking bad. Add in absolutely laughable segments where Dracula's forced to transform into bats and rats to try to sneak Metal Gear Solid-esque across stages because he's such a weakling in this game. Fuck that game. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And the sad part is, there are huge segments of the game that take place in Castle Dracula, that have the classic Lords of Shadow style gameplay, that have awesome big boss fights that are excellent, but they're completely overshadowed by the ludicrousness of the segments in the modern times where it's bullshit and it sucks. And I even said in the review, it's half good and half bad, so I give it a fucking 5 out of 10 because it's that much of a dichotomy. If they took all the modern shit out and put in several more hours of the Castlevania, Castle Dracula content, the game would have been great. But they ruined the fucking thing. And the series is dead in the water, so really I'm just expending energy here and getting all uppity about nothing. But, I couldn't believe what they did. After the first game being good, I can't believe how bad the second one was. Okay. Next game I want to talk about is a game that almost went completely under my radar. I almost made the huge mistake of not playing this game. And that would have been very unfortunate because this is a gem amongst these titles that were such big flops and disappointments, this one was actually a ray of shining hope. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get it for you. This game is great. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare for the Xbox One. By the way, I believe by now it's on sale for the Xbox 360 as well. For $40, so it's discounted price. Yes, it's online only. Yes, it's only competitive multiplayer. A lot of people have said, how will these competitive multiplayer only games fare? And yes, it's limited in maps and game modes, but it's incredible fun. There's 8 different characters, all who play completely differently. They're cartoonishly zany. The graphics in this game are outstanding. Never you're going to have a frame rate problem or anything like that. It's so much, it's cute, it's quirky, it's fun, it's interesting, it's addictive because the more you play, you unlock pieces of characters and you actually unlock different builds of characters. Maybe it's a character with a cool special outfit and a special weapon. And it's, like I said, so addictive. I've gone back to it like 4 times to play it. And the other huge thing about this game, free content. Ladies and gentlemen, in the year of 2014, a game developer is not nickel and diming you to give you new content for the game. They're actually giving out DLC for free. They've already done 2 of them. One of them was a mixed mode where a playlist that alternated through all the modes. Now they have a brand new mode called Gnome Bomb and a bunch of new items and things for the game. And they're doing it all for free. This is how you give back to your customers. Now, spend this amount of money to buy the game. 2 months later, spend another $20 to buy the first map pack. The next couple of months, buy the next map pack. That's ridiculous. That's disrespect. That's saying you didn't buy the full game when you bought it. You bought the original vanilla version, and now we're going to upgrade it 4 times. You have to keep paying to get the upgrades. It's bullshit. This game is how you do multiplayer right. It's quirky, it's zany. If you just want to get a flair, just watch one video, one match of me playing this game. I guarantee you're going to say, that looks fun as hell, I want to play it. All right? Okay, up next, a game that many really didn't know what to expect from. This is a game that kind of was in development hell. It had been in development for quite some time. And a lot of people didn't know what it was going to turn out to be when it finally came out. Would it end up like, oh my god, Duke Nukem Forever, which was in development for so long that it came out to be an outdated, experience by the time that it was finally released? And what a freaking surprise South Park, The Stick of Truth was for anyone who's a South Park fan. Talk about the ultimate fan service game for anyone who likes South Park. You had characters spanning the entire length of the series, special cameo appearances, secret bosses. The game played like a traditional JRPG, had hilariously quirky moments, and I, at least up to now, strongly and staunchly believe it has the funniest moment ever in any video game, ever. Which is, by the way, the highest viewed video in the entire playthrough that I did of this game. And, a lot of people are even saying this game is so good, it's a potential Game of the Year contender. Because it understood the source material, but at the same time, it was a well-executed RPG with tons of content. Great graphics, by the way. The game looks exactly like an episode of South Park. You would think you're watching South Park when you play The Stick of Truth. And even though there are a few little bugs here and there, like game crashes and stuff, it doesn't matter because there's frequent checkpoints, and I loved it. I absolutely love this game, whether you're a fan of JRPGs, regular RPGs, South Park, just funny comedy. And by the way, this game pushes the boundaries of what you can do in a game. Whether it's a gross out factor, whether it's a sexual, hilarious, comedy factor, you gotta play South Park: The Stick of Truth, and you gotta watch someone's playthrough of it if you don't, because it's just so crazy. It's a don't miss. Seriously, it's a don't miss. All right. After South Park, I'm just kind of glancing over at my calendar here because we had 1 week where there were 2 things. That's right. We had this past week where there was 2 games, Dark Souls 2 and Titanfall, which both came out on the same day. All right. First, let's talk about Dark Souls 2. You can see I still have the nice, beautiful Black Armor Edition case, which I was very pleased to receive when I picked up my game, which, by the way, you get for absolutely no additional charge if you pre-ordered the game in the United States. And it actually includes the soundtrack, the CD soundtrack with it. How neat is that? A cool bonus for without paying any extra money. And Dark Souls 2, a lot of people didn't know what was going to happen with me in this playthrough because from all reports, Dark Souls 2 harder than Dark Souls 1. And if you remember correctly, when I played Dark Souls 1, I had never played a Dark Souls game or Demon Souls before. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I didn't do any research to find out how to play the game. The game had a very limited to no tutorial at all to explain how to play it. And so basically I flubbed my way through, say, 10 to 12 hours of gameplay trying to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do to win and beat this game. And, eventually I quit it. I couldn't take it. I got to a point, my weapon was about to break, my armor was falling apart, I was in the middle of a swamp full of poison and toxin, and I just couldn't get anything going. And I said, I don't even know where the fuck I'm going or what I'm supposed to be doing. I quit. It's not fun for me anymore. Then I jumped back into the game 2 years later, last year on stream, and I became a huge fan of Dark Souls. I did. Because when I actually got into the game and people were helping me and telling me where to go and saying, no, this is how you play the game, and I started to understand it, wow, this is pretty good. My God, there's an overwhelming amount of content. Look at the wide variety of locales. Look at the really crazy, first of all, the sheer number, but the variety of the boss fights in the game. And I became a fan of Dark Souls, so much so that I went out and I played Demon Souls afterwards. And now, again, wow, getting the the kind of back experience of how that game was and getting accustomed to the controls to the point where that game, I didn't have anyone come to summon and help me. I just grinded and I learned how to play it by myself. And then I was playing through the game and having fun. And when I played Dark Souls 2, I took all of that experience from those two games and I put it into this, and people are now telling me, I shit you not, and I didn't expect this. There are people honestly telling me, Phil, I didn't like you, all right? I thought you were an asshole. Every hard game that you ever play, you complain about. All you do is whine about it. And then I saw you start to play Dark Souls 2, and you had the right attitude. You had the knowledge from playing the previous two games. You're playing it the right way. With, of course, occasional rage here or there. Every once in a while it's going to build up and it's going to get to me. For the most part, I've had people telling me that they stopped watching me and they're coming back now because Dark Souls 2 changed their mind. They saw one or two parts of, really? This is Phil playing? Watch the rest of the playthrough and were like flabbergasted that I'm tackling the game the right way. Now, do I really believe that there's a right or wrong way to play a game? No, I don't. And I don't think that it's right that people should hold you up to their own personal standards of how to play a game. But that being said, being that I now have more of a respect for the series because I know what it is, I understand how difficult it is, instead of me losing to something that's maybe cheap and raging and throwing things and swearing, instead I laugh. And I say that was good, they got me there, I get the joke now. That was the problem. When I played Dark Souls 1, I didn't get the joke. I thought that was the game maker laughing at me at my expense. Dark Souls 2, I'm understanding it's not. They've created this really crazy, difficult world to challenge you so that when you do finally figure it out, you do feel some accomplishment. And I'm going to be honest, no, it's not the end-all be-all. Oh my God, I did a perfect run of Dark Souls 2 and my edict just grew 40 feet because of it. That's not the point. The point is to play it your own way and to overcome and succeed, and then you feel good about yourself. So I'm not agreeing with these elitist douchebags. Oh, you must play Dark Souls this certain way. You may not summon. You may not have help. No one may ever tell you where an item is. No one may ever help you with anything. Fuck you, you must do it by yourself. And if you don't do it, fuck you, you're a loser. No, that's not it. Dark Souls 2, you should be able to play however you want, okay? And that's the attitude that I took with it. And that's why I'm enjoying it. That's why, for 9 days, 9 streams, I've consistently made progress in Dark Souls 2. There's not been one day where I got so stuck on something that I didn't make any significant progress that day. Every day, I'm pushing forward. And the overwhelming amount of content in this game is staggering, the amount. I mean, I'm grinding at night. I'm playing it during the day on stream, and I'm 9 days in, and I'm not done yet. It's nuts. The only negative that I have to say about Dark Souls 2 is this, okay? They didn't fix the graphics at all. All of those frame rate issues that were present in Dark Souls 1, especially in some of the areas with certain animated things where the frame rate would creep into the teens, It's the same. They didn't fix it at all. And that's a shame because From Software actually publicly came out and promised people that they were going to make an effort to fix that stuff. And it's not. It's all still present in Dark Souls 2. So that's the one negative. The thing is, I've played Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1, so I'm used to the frame rate issues, and I'm kind of adapting to it. It's not like killing my game. I'm expecting it. When it happens, it doesn't usually kill my game anymore. Okay? So, Dark Souls 2, outstanding. And I'm going to say this right now. Again, I haven't beaten it yet. This could definitely be a Game of the Year contender. That's how much of a difference, of a 180 in opinion I have about the Dark Souls franchise. And Dark Souls 2 could be one of my Game of the Year contenders this year. We have to see what happens when I beat it. All right. Now, the other side of this coin, the other game that came out the same day as Dark Souls 2, a game that everyone on the planet, whether it was IGN, whether it was some other mainstream, gaming media, whether it was Microsoft and the Xbox fanboys, Titanfall's a system seller. It's the game that will make the Xbox One fly off shelves. In fact, Microsoft went so far that they redid a whole wave of the Xbox One. Now, you can buy the Xbox One with Titanfall packaged inside for free. They think this game will sell the console so well, we're not even going to charge you for the game. That's the attitude Microsoft has. And I played it for 2 days, 2 sessions, and I almost fell asleep. Because Titanfall it should be called Titanfall. Because what they attempted to do, Respawn Entertainment, was take different pieces of gameplay from other popular and successful franchises, such as mechs from Mech Warrior or Hawken or whatever game that you want to talk about mech combat in. Unreal Tournament with double jumps and crazy parkour style kind of stuff. Stealth from, say, the Halo series. And, of course, the run and gun gameplay from Call of Duty. And they put it all together. It really feels like they took pieces of other games and taped it together. And the bottom line is this: once you've played on every map once, you've basically played the entire game. And after about 3 hours of playing, you're just going to be so incredibly bored because you've been doing the same thing over and over and over. Now, I'm going to say this because I reviewed the game, and I said this in the review, and a lot of people's had issue with me saying, I'm a Sony fanboy. How funny is this? The guy who for the entire last console generation always bought the Xbox version of the game over the PS3 version of the game. The guy who said that he loved the chat on Xbox, the party system, the ease of inviting. I love the controller better. For an entire generation, I thought the Xbox was better than Sony. Now, one fucking game, I'm not in agreement with the 100 billion fucking fanboys who overhyped the goddamn game and made it seem to be something that it's not. I speak the truth. Now I'm a Sony fanboy all of a sudden. Sure, dude. Whatever you say. Really. You should make a fucking icon of me. Sure, dude. And make that into a t-shirt. Because it's just so ridiculous, the shit that people say. So, Titanfall, in my opinion, is not a bad game. It's a fun game. It's an addicting game. And if you're the kind of person that buys Call of Duty every year and you sit there and you play it nonstop and you play it with your friends, you have, a dozen friends who you love playing the game with all the time, and that's what you're into, great. But anyone else, if you're looking for, wow, this is a groundbreaking new experience that really is different and it's unique and it's original and it's a system seller, you're going to play it once and say, what the fuck did I waste my money on? And so many people I've been seeing have been contacting me. They say it in my stream chat. They say it on Twitter. Dude, what did I do? I spent $60 on this game and I played it for 2 days and I'm bored as hell because it's the same shit over and over and over with no innovation. And the only reason that this game really, they're saying there's anything new is because some of it's mech combat, some of it's first-person shooter. Well, okay, I'll take Tetris and I'll put it as half of a game of, I don't know, Warcraft. How about that? How about you're playing Warcraft 3, but then right in the middle, instead of fighting, there's a Tetris puzzle. You have to do Tetris. You know what I mean? That's literally the equivalent here. And they're saying that that's like revolutionary. No, it's not. You did nothing original. You did nothing that no one else has done before besides slap other people's ideas together into a game. Respawn Entertainment should be ashamed because they're the ones who made Call of Duty 4 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and they had outstanding amounts of content and great campaigns in those games, which they completely cut out of this game to make it multiplayer only. And people asked me months ago, they said, Phil, when games like Titanfall start to come out, multiplayer only, do you think that you could have a full retail game that's multiplayer only, $60, and it flies? You know what I mean? And I answered very carefully, and I said, listen, if I play Titanfall, And there's so much content in the game. There's enough maps, enough game modes, enough variety and customization that I can play it and it never really gets old. Then yeah, it's worth $60. The problem with Titanfall is it feels old after 2 hours. There's very little customization to be had. There's only four game modes. $60, 4 game modes. What the fuck were they thinking? What a bunch of assholes. And the bottom line, if you don't know this, I said this already previously on a video that I made. For 1 week, that whole week that Titanfall came out, and it kind of died down this week a little bit. But for a whole week, there were people who were recording, streaming, all they were playing was Titanfall. Well, guess what? It was leaked that Microsoft was fucking paying them all. That's right. People who, normally they don't play a first-person shooter non-stop for a week. They would do other stuff. Why'd they play Titanfall for a week? Because Microsoft paid them to do so. And I hate to say it, but myself and Angry Joe were really the only people who played the game and fairly reviewed it. Everyone else, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. A $60 retail game that only has 15 maps, 4 game modes, and you've done everything in the game after 2 hours is a 10 out of 10. Go fuck yourself and sit and spin on your goddamn Microsoft money that you took to kiss the game's ass, because it's not a system seller. It's a fucking skip. No one should even fucking play Titanfall because it's a fucking over-exaggerated piece of fucking shit. So there you go. And now this week, to wrap everything up, this week we had Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, which, again, another highly controversial game because the game itself is not really a game. It's basically a demo. It's an hour-and-a-half long demo to show you the changes and innovations that this team have done to the Metal Gear franchise to bring it into the next generation. And let me tell you something. The visuals in the game are amazing. I even did a screenshot when I was playing. I said, this might be the best game graphics I've ever seen in a goddamn game. Full 60 frames per second, 1080p on the PS4, looks gorgeous, runs gorgeous. The gameplay is fun. They've definitely refined the controls and everything in the game to be a lot easier to work with. When you do the side content, which constitutes about another 2.5 hours of gameplay, you really see, there could be variety in this game. Not only will they have a main campaign, but with all this side content, going back to the same maps, but doing completely different objectives and different things, it could really change up the game. And let me put it to you this way. While you're playing Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, especially if you're a fan of the Metal Gear Solid series, you're not going to have a moment where there's not a smile on your face, because you're going to say, this is fucking great. This is where we're going with the future of gaming, and I can't fucking wait to play Phantom Pain when it really comes out. And then you realize after 4 hours that you've done everything in the game, you've beaten everything, the game is over, and you spent $30 for 4 hours of gameplay, and you say, you motherfucker Kojima, you got me. You got me. Because if you're a fan of Metal Gear, you're going to want to play this. You're not going to want to miss this. But it's not $30 of content. It's about $5 to $10 worth of content. And the fact that they're charging $30 is an incredible ripoff to the gamer. It's a slap in the face of the fans of the series, and it's a cheap money grab, probably to help finance the Phantom Pain, which is complete bullshit. When Konami is releasing stinkers like Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, how about you just don't make that terrible fucking game, and instead you put the money into Phantom Pain so you don't have to milk the fucking fans of the series for a 4-hour tech demo. I'm just saying. Okay. And now, to end this segment, last but not least, the next game we'll be playing tomorrow. Unfortunately, there is no midnight release. I really wish there was. I would have been there tonight for this one. Infamous Second Son. And this is a game that has been very much hyped for a long time. People have been having articles about it and seeing it's not Cole anymore. It's not the same main character. And I have a lot of love for the Infamous series because the Infamous series from Sucker Punch, I really feel now that because of Infamous 1 and 2, the level of quality that those games were held up to, the amount of content, the fun factor, the replayability of playing it back as good or evil if you didn't do that your first playthrough, really has made Sucker Punch a AAA developer. And I just can't wait to play the game because I know I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. I know it's going to be a long game where I'm going to get a lot of satisfaction out of it. And I know that once I beat it, that's not the end. That there's a whole cool, varied experience doing it on the flip side. And a lot of people have already asked me, Phil, will you be doing a good playthrough and a bad playthrough of Infamous Second Son? And my answer is I might. Because if I start playing it tomorrow, and let's say I do it on mainstream for a few days, so let's say I beat it by, say, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, well, I still got several days of gameplay to go before I go on my time off, so I may start a flip side playthrough where I do everything the evil side, right? And that would be really neat. I did it with Infamous 2, and I think I may do it again here for Infamous Second Son. The people who have played the game are saying this might, and I know I said it for Metal Gear Solid 5, but they're saying this might be the best graphics of any game ever, which I don't know. I'll reserve my judgment, but if it is, that's great, because I'll tell you the graphics of Infamous 1 and 2 were outstanding on the PlayStation 3. In addition, whoops, I got caught up on my cord here. In addition to that, what was I going to say now? Oh, I want to let everyone know this is one of the very few games this year I am getting the collector's edition. And apparently there's some really cool swag and stuff in there that I'm very much looking forward to get my hands on, and I'm very excited for the collector's edition tomorrow. So I hope you guys are as hype as I am for Infamous. I really am very excited. And it starts tomorrow, just so everyone knows. If you're watching this, obviously the day of. It starts Friday, March 21st. It's going to be my first stream. Now, I can't promise you a time because it all depends on how long does it take for me to go get the game. Is there no problems? Can I do release the unboxing with no issues? And then, but roughly it'll be early afternoon, say around 1:30 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when my first stream will start. And it's going to be the longer stream, so 4 to 5 hours of content right there on day one. Don't worry if you can't attend the stream. All that footage will be uploaded to my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming, as well as a full direct capture playthrough. I'm super stoked. And I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something right now. Titanfall. People say it was a system seller. No. Infamous Second Son more than likely will be a system seller. Because here's a game with a narrative, a great story, probably going to have a great, interesting characters, great voice acting, amazing graphics, and things in the game that you probably haven't done before. Innovation. That's what Sucker Punch did in the first two games. They made you feel so amazing with these crazy superpowers and you know how you evolved over the course of the games. That's Titanfall's no innovation. It's just slapping other people's work together, while Infamous Second Son will probably have a ton of it, and when you're done, you'll want to play it again. That's a fucking system seller, not repetitive gameplay just for the sake of repetitive gameplay, and you get hooked on it and you play with your friends online all day. So I would bet that if there weren't a PS4 shortage, that they would make even more headway in the console market right now. Okay. I just talked an hour straight. My voice is a little hoarse. Give me a few minutes here to rest up, and then we're going to come back. Segment number 2 today is going to be all about the controversial issues going on Twitch and YouTube with internet gamers who are experiencing all kinds of things, negativity, issues with Adblock, and I want to flesh these issues out and talk a little bit publicly about them and give you my take on them, okay? So right now, I'm going to take a short commercial break. If you're watching this on Twitch, just stick around. I'll be back in a few minutes. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll timestamp the video. So just look right to the description of the video. I'll timestamp it. Click there, skip ahead right through the commercial break, and you can watch the next segment. Okay, everyone? Thanks a lot for the return of Hate Live. I'll be back in a few minutes with the next segment. All right, everybody, I'm back. Welcome back to Hate Live, episode 4 out of beta, thank goodness. And, here's hoping. I know that I am taking time off very soon for house hunting, but here's hoping that when I come back from that I can consistently do Hate Live rather than having weeks and weeks at a tear where we're not doing it like I had recently, okay? So for segment 2 of tonight's show, what I'd like to do is talk about a subject that's near and dear to my heart personally, and a lot of you obviously know why. Just the issues, that YouTubers, people who stream on Twitch TV, in particular regarding games and gamers and gaming, issues that these people have been having, especially those who try to do it and make it a living doing it, in regards to negativity, feedback, hate, people basically stealing content, using Adblock while they're viewing content when they well know that that's taking away from the potential living that person who you're watching, who you claim you're a fan, you claim you're a loving viewer, and you want to see that person succeed, yet you can't be bothered during this, for perfect example, this commercial break that I just ran. You couldn't be bothered to just leave your Adblock off and maybe let it play an ad or two so that someone can make a couple pennies, right? And I'll tell you right now, it's an epidemic. It's an increasing epidemic. Let me give you an example, first of all. First, let's talk about ads and ad blocker, which I know will be controversial, and I'm sure people will take parts of this video and clip it up. Oh, look, Phil said this. Let's take 400 things out of context to make him look like a villain. Whatever. I like to be honest, and I'm not going to stop what I do or what I say because some idiot's going to take it out of context for their own evil purposes. So fuck them. Let's talk turkey. The bottom line is that the YouTube of today and the YouTube of 2011 are night and day. They're completely different. In 2011, almost everyone was, wow, YouTube, this is cool. Somewhere where you can upload all your videos and you can see people do commentaries and play games, and you can see competitions, and you can see anything you want on YouTube. News, political commentary, social commentary, satire, comedy, anything could be seen on YouTube. And it was this big burgeoning thing. People flocked to it by the millions to watch this content. Back then, it wasn't as commonplace of a thing where your browser has fucking Adblock Plus already installed in it when you download it, and you see no ads on YouTube. Most people went there and there were ads, okay, they're a little annoying or whatever, but they would put put up with them to watch this fun and entertaining content. The world of 2014 is a very different place. Here's what's happened. Basically, in 2011, a lot of people found out that there were going to be these companies who were partnering people to do what they love on YouTube. And it's not just gaming, but gaming's a big part of it. I'm talking do-it-yourself stuff, guru-style stuff, makeup, fashion, glamour, news, carpentry, that kind of stuff. But also celebrity gossip, comedy skits, big things that could get hugely popular. And they found out we're going to partner these people, these creative people. We're going to put ads on their videos, and we're going to make money, and we're going to pay them for it, and we're going to make them rich too. And all of a sudden, in 2011, gamers like myself started getting partnered with companies like Machinima. And immediately, this is what happens. Whenever this happens, actually, hold on. I gotta go the extra mile. There you go. Paper. Whenever the paper's involved, that's when things change. Because immediately, when people said, wait a minute, that Dark Side Phil guy's doing that, man, I could do that too, I mean, I don't believe that he's so popular. He has creativity, and people rush, right? And it's not just me. I'm using myself as an example because I was one of the people who first had their gaming channel partnered and started making good money doing it, okay? And what ended up happening was you had massive amounts of people flood the fucking website. Flood. So now anytime you want to see a game, there's 5,000 people doing playthroughs with ads all over the fucking thing. Donate money, send money, give us money. And it's like, how different is that from when I even started? You know what I mean? That it was just for fun, and you could tell there was nothing involved for monetary gain. It was for the love of the game. And it's the same thing with any business. Sports started out as a fun competition. All of a sudden, I'm going to sign you to make paper, son. And all of a sudden, all it's about is the money again, right? And now it's corporate, and there's ads all over it, and the season's way too fucking long because they want to make more money and run more advertisements. And it's horrible. And this happens with anything. And this is what's happened with YouTube. Now, here's the problem. Back then, in 2011, you had what? 20, 30 people who were really big gamers on YouTube and had ads on their videos. So that wasn't that big of a deal. Now you've got 500,000 people who flooded YouTube who all want to get ads on their videos. And now it's a fucking problem, right? Now it's an epidemic. Now you try to watch any clip on YouTube and there's a 4-minute full fucking preview for a movie that's the dumbest, stupid, most uninspired piece of shit you've ever seen. And there's no skip button to skip the ad. And you're like, what the fuck is this? I don't want to see this 4-minute long piece of shit, stupid trailer. So you get Adblock, you install it, right? And now everything's free. No waiting, no pop-ups. No, if I'm on Twitch TV and I'm watching this live stream, I don't have to see a Cracker Barrel ad pop up, and I don't have to hear about Monostat C or whatever the fuck it is, and hear about yeast infections and all kinds of disgusting ads that you never wanted to hear to begin with. I can skip all that shit and I get all the content for free. Great. And smooth sailing. And of course, all of us are going to survive forever because everyone's watching content with no ads on it. The end. Period. Wrong! Wrong! I don't know how much louder I can yell. Wrong! Because what's happened now is because so many people oversaturated the market and put so many ads on everything that every person is now using Adblock. And what's happened then is those people who you love, people who've been there and putting out entertaining content for you for years, people who, at one point were sitting pretty and they're like, if I keep making this kind of money, my God, I'm going to be living the life. You know what I mean? Now, all of a sudden, that paper is only about that much paper. And next year, it'll be that much paper. And how long is it until it's only that much? You know what I mean? Because the bottom line is, if these partnership companies don't make money on ads, that means they're not going to re-sign these people to make the content that you love. And these people are not going to be able to make a living doing it. Which means, guess what? They're going to have to go back to the job-seeking market, which, by the way, is incredibly bad in America right now. It still is. And they're going to have to seek, regular jobs to occupy their time, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with holding a regular job. But don't expect these people to be putting out the quality content that you've come to love over the years anymore. It's cause and effect. Entertaining people go to YouTube, start making money. Every other Joe Schmo schlub on the planet says it's easy money. I want to make it big doing nothing too. They rush to YouTube. They oversaturate YouTube with ads. Now everyone uses Adblock. And now the people who really were the core people who inspired people to go there to begin with, the people who are putting out the entertaining content and you still love it, they're the ones that get fucked. Because let's face it, all those other little guys who rushed to YouTube to be wannabes and the ones that flooded the market to begin with, those are the guys who weren't putting out the quality content. They probably weren't getting the views anyway, and so probably they weren't affecting anything. It's the guy who inspired everyone that gets fucked. Now, by no means, again, am I personally just talking about myself. There have been big YouTubers coming out over the past month and a half saying, listen, we're in dire straits. A lot of these YouTubers aren't like me. They actually have contracts that are not view performance based, which I have through Machinima. Theirs are based off of how much money they actually make on ads. So if you're watching their content with Adblock on, they make zero. So basically, they just handed you free content, made no money. How are they supposed to live now? And what job, right, do I walk into an office, I sit down, I work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., I go home, oh, by the way, just as, some crazy circumstance, you're not getting paid today. Oh, well, and that's kind of the worries that a lot of YouTubers have. That's kind of the uncertainty, the risk that's involved in having this kind of internet personality kind of a deal. You don't know tomorrow if YouTube's going to completely change and if you could even monetize. What happened in December and January when all of a sudden, oh, I'm making money. Oh, content ID match. Oops. Now all these third-party companies took all your money and took all your advertising rights on your videos. Huh? Like what? And that's literally what happened in December. Bloop. They took it away. And you had poor guys like Angry Joe who again, he's put his blood, sweat, and tears. You can tell when you watch an Angry Joe video, he puts a ton of effort into it. Big production values, hilarious skits. They took all his content. They took all the all legal possession of his content and said that it's their advertisement revenue now. Unreal, right? And so you got to understand that any of this can go away at any time. A lot of us are just riding a bubble. I feel the bubble has burst. I used to call it my wave of popularity. I think the wave of popularity now is in a decline because the market's so oversaturated at this point. But if you love the people who you follow, and I'm not just talking me, and it doesn't have to be just games, but people in general who put out entertaining, fun, informative content for you on a daily basis, do them a solid. Disable any kind of ad block. Don't install Adblock for YouTube and Twitch. You know, these people are in some cases, especially in my case, on a complete chance in a position where they can do something that they love for a living. And I know there's nasty people out there. I'm not doing what I love for a living, so God forbid that anyone else be successful either. Fuck them. Adblock, steal the content, upload it to over here. Oh, you can watch it without ads over here. Fuck that guy. He doesn't deserve any money. There are these people who are just miserable because they didn't make it. Okay? And I've always said from the beginning, I'm incredibly lucky. I was a person who, for 3 years, almost 3 years, it was a little over 2 years, was making content on YouTube for nothing. Nothing. It was my hobby. It was fun. It was something that I did when I had a back injury and I wanted to get a different kind of hobby going with gaming. And I happened into popularity. I never intended it. I never saw this as any kind, and this is all ones, it's nothing anyway, but I never saw this as any kind of an inevitability of what I was doing. I never ever fathomed that making gameplay videos on YouTube would turn into this big thing like it did. And then next thing you know, now I'm making money. Other YouTubers are coming and making money all off of games. I had no fucking clue. I didn't know that I just happened to be right in the right place at the right time. But in my situation, I didn't choose this life. I didn't. And I'll be honest, I've said this before. If I had the option of continuously doing my old job and doing YouTube on the side, okay, and making money on both, maybe putting ads on the videos here, but still having that job that's consistent and stable and easy, cheap healthcare and stuff like that, versus what I do today, I would still work that office job. I love what I'm doing today, don't get me wrong. I love the creative control I have. I love the fact that I make my own schedule. I'm my own boss. No one tells me what to do, even though there seem to be several thousand people on the internet who think they can tell me what to do. Gee, look how well that's working out for you, right? But really, I love it. But the bottom line is what I do is incredibly risky. All this could go away tomorrow for any fucking reason. YouTube could just shut down gaming videos and Let's Plays and all that altogether, right? My healthcare is out of control. I pay almost over $400 a month on health insurance. I'm not kidding. That's how much it costs when you're self-employed. I didn't pay that much when I was with the desk job 9 to 5. Absolutely not. And you know, there's a lot to be said about people who go in and they do jobs that they don't like. And a lot of people say, oh, those people are uncreative. Those people are just complacent. Those people just do it because they don't want to do anything outside the box and they don't want to take a risk. I disagree. They do it because they know, at least even if they hate their fucking jobs, that they have steady income, they have affordable health care, they can take care of a family if they so choose, and it's not this crazy looming risk over your head that what's going to happen tomorrow. That's what I go through every night when I sleep. Really. There's never a time when I can just say, I'm good to go and I feel safe and there's no risk or anything. How many times over the years that I've done this stuff on YouTube and now Twitch that there's been problems? People threatening me with false copyright claims. People trying to get me kicked out of different programs. You know what I mean? And it never ends. It's a never-ending thing. So for people to say, oh, what they do is easy, I completely disagree. I think that what we do is unique and risky and ballsy. And it takes a certain kind of person to do it. And now we're going to go into my second half of this discussion, which is about the negativity and the hate that's permeating the internet when it comes to internet gamers and personalities and stuff. And of course, out of all the people that you think of when you think, wow, people really hate that guy, you got to think it's me, right? I'm the one that somehow over the past year to year and a half has managed to garner this collective movement of people who turned it into literally a fad to hate on DSP. So I personally know firsthand what this kind of stuff can do to you. Now imagine this. Imagine that you are one of these people who you're trying to make a living doing this. You're trying to make things happen. You, like me, you're trying to plan out your future. You want to move. You want to get a bigger place. You want to move in with your girlfriend. You want to eventually start a family. Maybe you want to start your own business. And you're trying to plan all this shit out, but you never know. When will you be able to? Will it be stable enough? Are you going to make less money this year than you did last year? Are you going to get a contract renegotiation that's going to screw you over, and now you have to completely change your life plans, which actually happened to me last year. It's a heavy burden. Now, I want you to imagine that not only you have all that on your mind all the time, all right, but now every day when you wake up, you go on Twitter, and the first thing you see on Twitter isn't, oh, that was fun, or this, that. You suck. You're the cancer. You're a piece of shit. You should never play again. I hate you. Oh, he's a joke. He's horrible at everything he does. He's this, he's that. And these are just examples that I'm speaking from my personal perspective. Other YouTubers like Total Biscuit, like Boogie, and a few others have come out recently and said, we get the nasty shit. I feel bad for Boogie because that guy, he's got weight problems, he's got health problems, but he's a funny dude. If he's a funny dude and he entertains you, that's good enough, right? No. You're disgusting. You're a filthy human being. You're just a nasty piece of shit. How could you let yourself get so fat and this and that and all this personal shit that has no place to do with the content that the guy puts out and should be none of anyone's fucking business. And the bottom line is, okay, a lot of people say, oh, these people are complaining that people are saying negative things about them. Well, they put themselves out there and therefore they just deserve it. Wrong. Fucking wrong. Because just because I want to make entertaining content for you, and I'm the kind of person who's like to has a personal connection with my fans, now I deserve extra hate, and I should immediately be able to take massive amounts of hate and negativity. What kind of world is this? Seriously, And it's kind of like with these people, an actor. The poor actor has the paparazzi on their fucking ass 24/7, and people, well, that's their fault for being an actor. What? All they did, they trained to play a character in a movie or a TV show. Where did they say they signed up for this kind of negative shit? You know what I mean? I don't understand this whole TMZ celebrity mentality where if you, just because you're well known for something or you're a public persona, you are open license to just destroy that fucking person and make their life miserable and take your own fucking filth and shit and throw it at their face. I don't get that. Maybe because I'm not that kind of fucking person, right? Maybe because I think that it's way more productive use of my time doing productive things and positive things and focusing on making great content than just sitting here and throwing my own feces at people. But there are people, this is what they do. They sit there on their computers, their miserable little selves. Oh, fuck Paris Hilton, fuck Kim Kardashian, fuck DSP, fuck, Ray William Johnson, fuck this guy, fuck that guy, fuck. And they never do anything productive with their time. That's their whole life. And it's incredible, the lengths that these people go to. And it seems, here's the other thing that I want to bring up that's a really valid point when it's someone who you are a public persona and you get feedback, okay? So now let's change gears a bit. Let's not say it's blatant hate. Let's say it's what people consider constructive criticism or feedback, right? So one day you watch one of my videos, and man, Phil really, I think it would have been better if he had done this, or you know what, if he did this one tweak here, this improvement here, I think that would have been a lot better. And so you send a tweet to me, or you leave a comment on the video, or maybe you put a post on my forum, you say something in the stream chat during a stream, you hope that I see it, and you go watch my content again, oh man, he's doing the same thing again that I really don't like. I guess he really didn't listen to me. Man, this guy doesn't listen to constructive feedback, okay? You're out of your mind. And again, I'm not speaking from my perspective. This is happening to everyone. They've come out publicly saying this. You're out of your mind if that's your mentality, okay? Because that's ridiculously unfair. Do you have any idea how many people contact me, interact with me on a daily basis? How many tweets I get? How many forum posts? How many PMs on YouTube? How many things in the stream chat? How many this? How many that? It's incredible. There's literally hundreds of thousands of you out there who watch my content and message me about it. There's only one of me. I don't have a crack team of 40 people here who are interacting with all my social media and all this, reading it. And Phil, we did today's analysis and the fans are saying that you should do this with your videos because it's, that's the fan consensus. It doesn't exist. All right? What it is people who are getting completely demolished, hit by every direction. You suck, so change this. You're bad, so change this. You should change this. You should change this. And you can't respond to any of it. You can't, because for every one person that says one thing, there's another person who wants another thing. And if you do this thing, well then this guy's upset because you didn't do what he specifically wanted. And it's just a cacophony, a phalanx, an endless amount of voices all speaking, and they all come to you and you don't know what to do with it. And this is where people can get up. Oh, Phil doesn't listen to his fans. He doesn't listen to constructive criticism. He doesn't listen to anything. Listen, if there was a way for me to filter it, so I could tell if there was a big consensus of things that would be a great idea or a great change or whatever to my content, I would love that, but it doesn't exist. I'm a one-man show. And a lot of these YouTubers, they're getting this guy sucks, he does this podcast and he never does it right, he should really do what I think. Listen, that mentality is the most self-entitled mentality you can have on the internet. And that's the bottom line. That's where all this hatred and all this criticism and all this is coming from. People are sitting at home and they're watching this person who obviously there's something good with their content because they're popular, right? They obviously have an audience, so they did something right. And they say, I think that, my personal opinion is that this is better, and I know better than everyone else, and so my opinion should be the one that's listened to. And this is what I mean. There's this generation of people, and it's changed since I started on YouTube, and now it's drastically different to people who use YouTube. There is an entire generation of the youthful people who actually think that they are the most important person on planet Earth, and that their opinion is the only one that's right and the only one that matters, and that everyone should immediately respond to every concern and criticism that they have, and if they don't, that person is wrong, and they, you know what I mean, because they know better than you. There's a whole generation, and I blame the parents. I blame parents who, when they were raising their children, spoiled the fuck out of them, okay? Made them feel like they were the most important person on the planet. Oh, you can be an astronaut, you can be the president, you can do whatever you want, son. And that's such unrealistic bullshit thinking. And you turn these people not into idealists like the parents think, you turn them into egomaniacs. You've got millions of little egomaniacs out there who all think that what they want is the best. And far be it that someone who they watch doesn't listen to what they say, or, fuck them then. Fuck them. They're an asshole. They don't listen. They just making the content to make money. They don't listen to the feedback from the fans. The bottom line is you got people like me who hear so many voices, our heads are rattled. We feel like we're shell-shocked, right? Total Biscuit just came out and said, you guys don't know this, but I'm prematurely gray. I dye my hair. Because in the past few years I've been doing this full time, so much negativity, so much hate, everyone's second guessing me, everyone's saying I'm doing the wrong thing, that I've lost all color in my fucking hair, Now, me, myself, am a unique position in all of this. The reason that I'm in a unique position is because, unlike a lot of those big guys, right, even though I was one of kind of the innovators of the Let's Play, by no means am I saying I was the first person to do it, but I was one of the first people to actually make money doing it, and people saw me as the archetype of, oh, we can do that too. They saw me as a target because the bottom line is the way I do YouTube has always been different than anyone else. I upload a ton of videos, and because of that, people don't subscribe to my channel. They always watched the content, but they didn't subscribe. So while everyone else was putting out 1 or 2 videos a day and slowly growing their viewer base, and they're, now they have 100,000, now they have 500,000, now they have 1 million subscribers. Phil always stayed within the 100,000 range because Phil did the way he wanted to do it, right? I always do things the way that I want to do it. That's just my personality. That's the way I am. Now, I've changed over the years and I've evolved, but ultimately, I like playing through a lot of games and uploading a lot of videos on a daily basis, and that's how I've been successful, and that's how I continue to be successful, okay? But for me, the amount of hate that I've received is just overwhelming. And I always received hate in my whole life. Let's face it. Everything I've ever done when I was a competitive Street Fighter, Phil's overrated. He's an asshole. He's not good at Street Fighter. When I went into the professional world, oh, Phil, don't trust him. He's not very good at what he does, blah, blah, blah. And then I go into YouTube. Oh, Phil, fuck him. He's a cult leader, and he's trying to manipulate his fans for money. He's trying to do this or that. And all this stuff that's always been. But it really wasn't until the past year to year and a half when people started taking my content, which, by the way, again, I'll say it again, it is illegal. Regardless of the fact that these people think they're making a parody of it, you can't just rip the raw footage. You would have to ask me permission to do it. And by the way, I also own my trademark. So regardless of any fair use law or copyright law that these people cite in their video montages of me failing, I own the trademark to my own persona. So anytime you hear my voice, that's trademarked and they can't use it in a video. Trademark law is completely different from copyright law. And right now, anyone who's ever used a clip of mine, I could have that taken off the internet if I felt like it. But I just don't. Because I think that, all right, fine, you want to use my content and make fun of me and be malicious and be dicks and make me the butt of a joke, fine. But what the fuck did I ever do, seriously, to have a movement of people who really don't know me? All they've ever heard of me is seen the this is how you don't play montages. And that's who they think I am. And it's people right now watching my Dark Souls 2 playthrough. There's fans of other YouTubers who I converse with on Twitter, such as SSOHPKC, who've started watching my content. And they watch, they go, this is nothing like what any of these people have been saying in their in fact, this is night and day. You know? Okay, here's the deal, everyone. I've made, 28,000 videos over the past several years? That's a lot of content. I'm sure during some of those games, I wasn't doing very well. Because no one can be good at everything they do. That's the bottom line. You cannot be good at every possible thing you attempt. And so when I'm playing every genre of game, racing, fighting, shooter, third-person shooter, first-person shooter, puzzle, stealth, action-adventure, platformer, and every kind of game that I play, there's going to be ones I'm not good at. So for anyone to turn it into, he's a horrible gamer, and then they make montages of the games I'm not good at. That's the thing. Where are the montages of, by the way, here's the playthrough that Phil did real well at. Where's the montage of Dark Souls 2? My God, Phil does it right. This is how you do play Dark Souls 2. Where's that? And that's the thing. Because the internet is all a bunch of little ninny motherfucking giggly girl teens, really, who all they want to do is act like this is TMZ, and let's find that moment of flaw. Let's find that one moment of weakness where that person did badly, and maybe, for me, my joke, it's been a running joke since I started making videos in 2008, and if you watch Hate Live, it was a running joke when I was in the Street Fighter community too, is that I blame stuff. Oh, I lost a match of Street Fighter, that joystick doesn't fucking work. Fuck this shit, that's bullshit, I should have won that match, I was blocking. Oh, what the fuck, I'm playing the game and a boss is hard. Fuck that game developer. How dare they make the boss too hard? And that's the running joke, and the people don't get the joke because they're fucking stupid. They're too stupid to get a running joke that I've used my whole life. My whole fucking life I've done it, and they can't get it because they're mental fucking midgets. All right? And it's ridiculous, You can take the negative of anything anyone does. Some famous actress tripped on the red carpet. Do we have to make fun of her? She's a fucking human, man. Oh my God, there was a moment of weakness that one person had. Big fucking deal. What about the 5 billion moments of greatness? Right? What about all the entertainment that person has brought? What about the smiles they've brought to people's faces? What about the hundreds of hours of content that you've probably personally watched with that person that's put a smile on your face? You forgot it all because they fucked up once and you want to be a dick and laugh at them? What kind of people would do that? So just imagine, that's me. I'm sure these other YouTubers have their own personal, like I said, poor Boogie must get so much negativity about his appearance and all this shit that has nothing to do whatsoever with his content. It's just a joke. And so I'll end this segment with this. It's always been my philosophy in life that we all make out together. That's better than one person just making it, all right? And I think that's really the problem with a lot of what people, their mentalities in this world right now, is that it's all about them. Me. As long as I'm good, as long as my family's good, as long as I'm making this is all I care about, right? There's far too few people in the world today who realize that it's not about this for you. It's about everyone around you succeeding and doing well. That's how life works. That's how societies persevere. Because let's face it, if everyone was all about just me, you kill everyone else. You would kill everyone else because guess what? If you kill everyone else, the whole world's resources are yours, and you know what I mean? There's no risk of you getting attacked by anyone because they're all dead. So the whole me, only me mentality doesn't work. And that's the problem, is that the world has changed where everyone's so focused on themselves, they don't see the big picture anymore, right? You're using Adblock because me. I hate looking at ads. Ads are annoying and they're, but in the big picture of things, if you use Adblock on people who make their living on ads, they're going to go away. And guess what? Now there's no more content to watch. So who did you hurt? You hurt yourself because you killed the person who entertains you, right? These are the big picture things that you have to think about in life. It's either one person can succeed or everyone can succeed. I'm a feeling, and no, I'm not a communist. A lot of people say, oh, he's a commie now. He wants free healthcare for everyone and blah, blah, blah. No, but I just like the fact to know that my neighbor, whether I'm friendly with them or not, is safe and, is not in some horrible condition. And I would, by no means would I ever take it upon myself to be so nasty and negative to someone like that. I want everyone to succeed. Since I started on YouTube, so many people have asked me for advice and things. I try to coach them and I try to help them to succeed with what they're doing. And, it puts such a smile on my face when I get a cool message from a fan that says, Phil, thanks so much for the content you put out, because really you made me feel so good today. And you really helped me, despite the fact that you're playing a video game and it's funny, that positivity, that laugh really helped me today. And that's why I continuously do it despite all the hate. And that's why I still do it. I don't do it just to play games and make money. I do it because I love doing it and I love helping other people and I love sharing my funny and fun experiences with other people. And if people would just realize that, instead of being this real negative, again, TMZ, little schoolgirl, gossipy, bullshit, maybe you would realize that if when you become a mature adult, you don't do that shit anymore, right? And that's the problem, is that there's this whole mentality of people, their mental maturity level is of a toddler, and they never grew up. They never realized big picture, there are things more important than making fun of people and me, I'm the most important person, and my opinion is the most. No, they never changed, they never evolved. They lack the ability to put themselves in the shoes of someone else. No, the people who make fun of me, the people who make fun of Boogie, the people who give Total Biscuit a hard time, never put themselves in the shoes of the person to think, how would that person feel if when they woke up, the first thing they saw on Twitter was, you're a horrible person, go die in a fire, you're cancer, suck a fat, turd, or whatever the fuck these people say. How do you think we feel? And it's just ridiculous that there are people that this is it. Wow, we feel good because they feel bad. And that's such a ridiculously immature mindset to have. Only self-entitled little fucking brats use it. And the problem is, there's a lot of them out there. Their parents never slapped the shit out of them when they were a little kid. And then when they said, Mommy, I want this toy. Mommy, I want this. Mommy bought it for them instead of saying, shut the fuck up and be a mature adult. And they never learned to be a mature adult. And that's who these people are. So, in closing, I leave you with this. Be considerate of the people who you follow. Be considerate of the people who you appreciate. Don't just focus on the negative, focus on the positive. The problem is there's too many people who want to focus on the negative, and those are the verbose people. Those are the people you hear, right? You don't hear, wow, did you see DSP in that awesome boss fight today? How he really bested that boss and was so epic it was down to the wire and everyone was on the edge of their seat. And then you run and you tell your friends about how epic that boss fight was so that when that video goes on YouTube, everyone will watch it. No, all you hear about is the one boss fight in Dark Souls 2 where I lost my cool and I started raging at the game. And people tweet to their friends, oh, DSP flipped out, here's the video. DSP sucks at this game, here's the video. And that's what goes viral. And that's the problem. We need to do viral positivity, not viral negativity. We need to flip this on its head. If when people do something awesome, everyone talked about it, my God, why is it that when I review games, if I review a really good game high, everyone, it gets okay views. If I take a game like Titanfall and I rip it a new asshole, the views are out of control. Why is the negative the thing everyone watches? I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. And we need to change. As an internet community, as a gaming community, we need to fucking change. You can't be like that because you will destroy it. You will destroy everything. I won't be around. Boogie won't be around. No one will be around. We'll be done. Well, fuck this. One day you're going to cut your losses. And thank God that I was born with thick skin. And my whole life, I was bullied. I was treated badly in the Street Fighter community, in my high school, in my grammar school. My whole fucking life, I had it. So I've got the thickest fucking skin of anyone I know when it comes to that stuff. If I didn't, who knows what would have happened with all the kind of shit that I get on a daily basis now. I don't know what someone like Boogie, I feel so bad for the guy. You know what he must put up with? I mean, he must talk to a psychiatrist or something. He has to. I mean, it's vile. It's vile, these fucking people. Seriously. So that's that. I'll leave it at that. Let's end the segment because I've now gone on for about almost 40 minutes about it. And just be careful what you say and do, and think about it, and think of it. Put yourself in the shoes of the other person that you're about to say something to before you say it, and it may just change your perspective a little bit. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're probably going to have about 20 minutes of Q&A, people calling in on Skype, and I apologize, we're not going to go too long with those calls. I'm going to try to keep them brief so we can get a few people in, but we're going to do a commercial break right now. So again, if you're watching on Twitch, hang around. I'll be back in a few minutes. If you're watching on YouTube, go to the timestamp right in the description of the video to jump ahead to the Q&A section of the show. Thanks, everyone. I'll be right back. Whoops. There we are. I was like, whoops, wrong thing. Okay, everyone, we're back. And as you can see, we've got the Skype ready to go. Let me actually boot it up. So if you want to give me a call here live tonight on Hate Live, we've only got about 15 to 20 minutes to do it. I apologize. I went on so damn long. Whoops. Oh, no. Hold on. There we are. Now we got a freaking echo, too. Isn't that delightful? My Skype is Darkside Phil. And I'm about to see if I'm online because I can't fucking see from here. Yeah, it looks like I am online. So go ahead, shoot me a call. I'll put my headphones on. Hopefully I can hear you. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me. If this doesn't work, I apologize. I haven't done it in several months, and there is high potential for failure. All right, here we go. First person calling. Hello.
Oh, damn.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
Very good. And who am I speaking with today?
This is Michael from Texas. How's it going, man?
Michael from Texas. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Kind of woke up a few hours ago. Got a weird schedule with that, but we're gonna fix that.
Talk about someone with a weird schedule. I know all about that. So, so what do you want to talk about tonight? Any comments? Anything in particular that we talked about on the show tonight you want to address?
Nothing really in particular. I wanted to ask something that I had a strange question.
Okay.
Would you ever consider not playing a game to completion, like maybe what you did with Ground Zeroes, checking it out for 1 or 2 streams, and then saying that's it? I get it, but I'm walking away from this. There are other things that I want to play, other things I want to try, like a game like Castlevania, Lords of Shadows 2.
Right. Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. If I'm playing a game, I start a game, and the game ends up being something that I didn't expect it to be. Maybe it's not exactly the best game out there. And especially with a game like Lords of Shadow 2, that game was incredibly freaking long for being a bad game. Yes, I mean, I could definitely do that. The reason that really I don't do it is 2 reasons. Number one, I've always been kind of the guy known for full playthroughs. When everyone else maybe takes forever to get through a game, takes them months and months to finish because they're playing 7 games at once and they upload 2 videos of it a day, I'm the guy who plays the game from start to finish, beats it in a few days, and can then upload that footage in a timely manner. And a lot of people come to me because they know when Phil starts a game, he usually finishes it, so I can at least see the thing from start to finish. That's one reason why I don't do that as a commonplace thing. The other reason is because if I'm going to review a game, I feel it would be unfair in most cases. In some cases, there are games where you can get the gist of the whole game in, say, a couple hours, like Titanfall. But if you're talking a game like Lords of Shadow 2, where that game had a ton of content, and if I only played 3 hours of the game, I said, it's not my cup of tea. Now people will say, well, what's the review? And well, I can't now. Now I can't legitimately review it because I didn't play the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that people would probably like it better if there's a game that's not my cup of tea, or it's not a very good game that I should just move on to something else?
No, not really anything I could think of right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was just a question that came up after seeing you go to that game all the way up to the end and barely getting through it. It seemed like you were just doing it to finish it and you weren't really enjoying it at that point. You wanted to move on already.
It was funny because, like, as I said in my review, any part in Castle Dracula I loved. Any part outside of Castle Dracula was like pulling my fucking fingernails out. And I just wished, I mean, I was literally playing, hoping that there would be like a big finale, involving Castle Dracula, and then it didn't happen. So, but I see your point. So thanks a lot for your call. I'm going to move on and get to another caller, but thank you very much, sir.
Oh, absolutely.
Have a good night.
You too, man.
All right, very good. And now taking another call. People want to call in. I'm waiting for new things to pop up here on my screen. Try to get through a few callers tonight. Right now I've got nobody. I don't know why. Maybe people stopped calling because they thought I was talking to that guy. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I can't. Hold on a second. All right, I'm going to try to answer this one. Here we go. Hello.
Oh, hello?
Hello. Yes, hello.
Oh, yo, this is so cool.
What's going on? Who am I speaking with tonight?
Oh, it's Kishino Lord. Uh,
Casino Lord. Okay, what's going
yeah.
on, man? What's
Uh,
on your mind?
Chewbacca knows me, but the thing is, I wanted to ask, like, what's your favorite movie out there? Because like my favorite movie, is Blade Runner, and I
Hmm.
just wanted to know what's yours.
See, for me, it's hard because I am kind of a movie buff. I've seen probably a ton of movies in my life, and for me, there's no one definitive movie that's the best. I like to say that there's movies in different genres. So if you're going to ask me what's the best animated movie I've ever seen, I think I hold Lion King up there. I think it's probably the best one, or at least the one that I hold in the most revere. If you're going to ask me comedy, I say probably it's a tie between Ghostbusters and Animal House. I think both of those movies are absolutely hilarious. Incidentally, they're both written by Harold Ramis, so no surprise there. Dramas, I mean, I've seen so many dramas that I've liked over the years. I can't even really put my finger down on one that I think was like the best. The movies that really stand out for me were ones that were kind of like my childhood into my teen years. Like I remember going to the movie theater and seeing Jurassic Park for the first time, and that was the first movie where they had surround sound in the theater, and not the fact that the movie was any kind of an amazing plot or anything, but the effects for the time blew me the f away. And that's what I mean. Like I could literally go on for about 2 hours about my favorite movies, but that's just a few of the ones that come to mind. As you ask me that.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm wearing a Jurassic Park shirt right now.
Oh yeah, are you really? Haha.
Yeah.
Very
And
good.
have you been watching the TV show True Detective? The first season already ended.
No, I've not even heard of that TV show. So.
Uh, all right. Well, you actually caught me off guard because I'm replaying Mass Effect 1. But
All
all right. Well, thanks
right.
for all right.
Yeah,
Bye.
no problem. Thanks for your call and have a good night.
Okay.
Alrighty, very good. Moving right along. Let's get some more callers, please. Waiting for some to pop up on my screen. So far, so good. What do we got here? No, that's not working. What? Oh, don't tell me I'm getting an error message now. Oh, come on, man. No, okay. I got it to go away. But no one's showing up now. Now there's no callers showing up. Excuse me. Oh, here we go. A bunch. Oh my god, a ton just appeared. Hold on a second. I'm just going to click any one here. Hello? Hello, is anyone there?
Hello, Phil.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good.
And who am I speaking with?
You are speaking with Colton, sir.
Colton, how are you tonight?
I am doing good, man.
And what would you like to talk about?
Basically just about all the hate that's been permeating on YouTube.
Okay.
I see half of the hate you get. It just drives me insane, and I'm like, what reason do these people freaking have for hating you?
Well, I mean, I understand. I feel the same way. It's like, what did I ever do to these people? There are people who never watched my content before, watched one of these montage videos about me, and now all of a sudden I'm the Antichrist. And it's like, huh? Really? Like, you're that dumb of a person that you let yourself get fooled by one video to think that that's the only content I ever put out? I mean, it is pretty ridiculous. For me, though, I feel bad for other YouTubers, like I said, in particular, Total Biscuit Boogie, who they're getting this kind of real nasty hate about their appearance and stuff like that, too. It's like, what would possess a person to just throw filth at someone they don't know to the point where these people, he's going gray, they're having health problems. I mean, it's out of control.
It sounds like it, man. I just wanted to tell you, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that on a regular basis, and I think you are a great person, man. You bring a smile to people's face. Keep on doing what you do, Phil, and, don't give in to these haters ever. They don't deserve it.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And thank you for the ongoing support. And like I said, lucky for me, I do have thick skin, and I'm the kind of person that when I get that hate, I use it to fuel myself to do better. Because as long as I'm successful, those people who are being so nasty to me, I'm proving them wrong, and that's what keeps me going. So regardless of how much you see me getting, understand that it is kind of in turn also fueling my success. Don't feel too bad for me.
All right, Phil. Well,
all right, thank you, sir. Thanks for the call.
You're welcome, man. Have a good night.
You too. Okay, let me see. I got a bunch up here, but I think they're old. Hold on, I'm going to clear the board. I'm going to see what new pops up here. We got a couple more calls we can take tonight. All right, now I'm waiting for new ones to pop up. I cleared the board. Here we go. Let's try this one. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how are you doing, Phil? Hang on, let me quickly mute the stream. I am
Very good.
very, very excited, I have to say. My name is Sam, and let me just say, you're a gigantic inspiration, first of all.
Wow, thank you. And by the way, let me say, you have one of the clearest mics I've ever heard.
Well, I am currently using a blue snowball for my microphone currently. I myself like to do a little bit of video making here and there, but it's a very nice microphone. And one question I had for you is how, like, okay, so I mean, GameStop usually boasts about, you know, people will be like, hey, you know, GameStop will give me like $3 for this in-game trade, right? Okay. I mean, there is that a lot.
Right.
But you use that a lot. You like to trade in games. You don't really like digital that much.
Right. That's correct.
So, if you generally go that route, then does it really help you out a lot?
That's a good question, because there is this kind of, let's face it. People say, oh, if I'm going to go to GameStop, I trade in a game, I'm going to get $3 for it. You know what I mean? And those cases happen. They absolutely do. For me, it's a little bit of an exception to the rule for a couple reasons. Number one, usually, because when I play a game, I beat it pretty quickly. And the turnaround time of the time from when I buy the game to when I actually trade it in can actually be very short. A very, 1 to 2 weeks in a lot of cases. Number two, I pretty much buy and play more games than anyone that I know. And therefore, I constantly have a lot of games to trade in. And these are the kind of things that really, if you're going to do trade-ins at GameStop, they pay off. So, perfect example. The other day, I went to GameStop, and I traded in Titanfall. I'd only played it for a week, and I hated the game, as you know. I think it's very overrated.
Yeah, I actually have a friend who is insane about Titanfall. I don't own an Xbox One. I own a PS4, and I really like it a lot. I mean, there's not very many games out for it, obviously, but I mean, I don't hate Xbox One. I don't hate PC. I think that they're both amazing. I actually think PC's the best, but I definitely thought that Titanfall was a good game, but it just didn't fall into my interest personally. And I gotta say, I mean, I have a friend who fanboys over the game, and it is definitely something that is difficult to deal with.
It's out of control. It's out of control. People just bought into the hype machine of the game is what it is. But perfect example. So that one I had for only a week. I traded in with 3 older games that I kind of had sitting around. I ended up getting maybe $10 for one, $10 for another. I ended up getting $40 for Titanfall. And that's the most I've ever gotten for a trade back to GameStop. And the reason I got it is because a lot of people don't realize this. There's 2 things that you do at GameStop to get more trading credit. Number 1, you trade in 3 games at a time, and you get a bonus.
Yeah,
Number
I've
2,
heard about that.
Yeah, number 2, if you trade your games towards a purchase of another game. So when I was trading those in, I was also picking up Metal Gear Solid 5. I was also picking up Yoshi's New Island. I was also picking up the Final Fantasy X HD collection. I got another big bonus. So if I had just traded in Titanfall, maybe I would have got $20, $25. But because I traded it in with 2 other, crappy games that I wasn't going to get anything for anyway, I ended up getting 40. And this is what happens a lot when I trade my games in, is that I save them up till I get like 3. And it'll be 3 heavy hitters that maybe from a month, and I know there's no DLC coming up or anything that I'm going to want to do, and I trade them in towards a new game, and I end up getting a bunch of games for free. In fact, this year, I think I've only spent maybe a couple $100 on all the games that I've played so far, because I've traded in so much stuff and got so much credit. So even if, yes, the consensus is true, if you just trade in one game here or there willy-nilly to GameStop, you'll get ripped off. But if you know how to do it right, and you wait, and you trade them in quick, and you trade them in together, you get a lot of credit, and that's how I end up making out a lot of the times when I do my trade-ins.
It's definitely something that's really good, and I've got to say, I mean, for all my games on PS4, I actually don't own a single disc. Like, the only disc that I own is Madden 25, and that's my dad's, and, he hasn't touched that in a bit, but...
Right.
I mean, everything that I've done is all digital, because I'm a huge fan of digital, but, I mean, GameStop actually seems like a very very thrifty way with your money, and especially considering, I mean, I've seen a lot of people who say digital is the future, and I can definitely agree with them. Digital is great, but it seems like it's really, I mean, for a person like, you or me, who I'm like you a lot. I buy a lot of the major releases, and, it seems like this kind of GameStop deal is actually a really, really good idea, trading in games and buying new ones, especially considering most of these games that are on my PS4, like Thief and I haven't touched Blacklight. I haven't played Outlast in a while. I mean, there's so many of those that are just like, they're just sitting there, and I literally have to spend like a few minutes or a few seconds scrolling through my PS4 to finally click Metal Gear Solid or whatever the newest game that I'm playing is. So
Right.
I just wanted to have your thoughts about that. But
yeah, there's nothing more awesome, especially if there's a cool midnight release event, to be able to go to the store and physically have the game in your hands and go home and play it right away. And what I've actually seen, I agree that digital distribution is the wave of the future, and probably there are going to do away with brick and mortar stores selling the physical games at one point. I don't think we're there yet, because the internet in a lot of places is very slow, and a lot of people can't download a whole game any faster than a week. But I like the fact that if there's a midnight release, I can get that right away. What I've noticed is a lot of the digital games don't release right away. And so even if you got the day one digital, you have to wait till 3, 4 a.m. for them to put it on the store to play it. Well, if there's a midnight release, I can just go to my store and get it as well. So that's just another benefit if the store is doing a midnight release. Of course, now with Infamous, they're not. And that's one of the downfalls of waiting for the brick and mortar is, if they're not doing it, they're not doing it. And you got to wait till the next day. So
exactly. And I mean, I have noticed that box art is actually really nice as well. I've liked the Dark Souls 2 box art, looked really nice. I saw that.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. That's the cool thing. Get something like this, a cool metallic case, and the game's awesome, and the case is awesome. That's a cool thing, a cool piece of swag, you can hold on to later. That's all right. So I want to thank you for your call, sir.
All right, thank you very much for answering. It was great talking to you.
Have a good night.
Having a great night.
Alrighty. And now I think we got time for one more caller, everybody. One more caller to end this episode of Hate Live. Let me close all the old calls and wait for a new one to pop up. Who will it be? Who will it be? Who will make the final call? The final call tonight. Oh, here they come. Let's try this. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Who am I talking to?
You're talking to Nicholas Thompson from Canada.
Hello, Nicholas Thompson from Canada. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I want to ask a question about Metal Gear.
Okay.
I was just curious why you seem to be critical about the Metal Gear series for being heavy on cutscenes, and you like to say that it's like a movie sometimes, but with Quantic Dream games like Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, you actually seem to favor that. I was just wondering why that is.
Okay, good question. That's fair. That's a fair, just question to ask. A lot of people have said I'm hypocritical in a lot of ways because I do that. The bottom line is this: you play a Quantic Dream game, and you're in the middle of a cutscene, the whole game feels like a cutscene, but you feel like you're actually in an interactive masterpiece. This feels like something that Spielberg would put out. You know what I mean? The production values, the story's good. A lot of people didn't like the story of Beyond Two Souls. I loved it. I mean, I didn't think that it went too far-fetched. I thought that having a cool supernatural twist in the game was excellent. The Heavy Rain, murder mystery. I love that kind of stuff. You didn't know who the killer was until the very end. The big reveal. You were actually, what's going to happen? The chance that one of the main characters can actually die during the course of the game if you make the wrong choice. You feel like you're in the middle of an interactive masterpiece. When I play Metal Gear Solid, or Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3, and I'm in a cutscene, and the girl's tits are hanging out, and this overblown, overdramatic dialogue, you could have literally said what you said in the cutscene within 2 minutes, but instead the cutscene's 16 minutes long because Kojima likes to talk forever. You know what I mean? That's what gets me. Kojima, don't get me wrong, is a good game designer. I think that he has a unique perspective. He has a unique way of doing things. And I'll tell you this, I loved the Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, and if that turns into what Phantom Pain's going to be, I think that game's going to be an exceptional game. But he has to learn how to edit himself. if you're going to put yourself out there and I'm going to make a video game, you got to learn how to cut that shit down, man. And really, that's what it is. Kojima needs an editor. Kojima needs someone to step in and say, no, you can't have 7 hours of cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 4 because that most of the game is cutscenes. You could have 2 hours of cutscenes and you have to have a decent amount of gameplay. I'll be honest, Metal Gear Solid 4 was the first Metal Gear Solid game I ever played. So think about this. With zero background, zero idea of how I was playing the game, I played that game for the first time and I beat it with almost no problems whatsoever. And I beat it fast. I beat it within like a day and I was just sitting there watching cutscenes for hours. So, Kojima pushes the limits of what you can stomach for a cutscene versus when you're playing a Quantic Dream game, you feel like you're part of a cool, fun, interactive movie where it's a really high production value plot and it's fast moving, it's interesting, it's catchy, it's suspenseful, it keeps you at the edge of your seat. When I play a Kojima game, I feel like sometimes I want to go to sleep because I just want him to hurry up and tell me what he wants to tell me so I can get to the next part of the game and not sit in a 14-hour cutscene.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That the cutscenes are pretty good, but the one problem is the pacing needs to be worked on, and I think that he kind of found a great middle ground for Metal Gear Solid 5 and Ground Zeroes.
It seems better, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem
Yeah.
like a lot better with the cutscenes? Didn't take forever. They were fast moving. People would say something abruptly. Okay, on to the next. Not stand here and talk for 14 minutes. So I think that they're going to do a good job with Phantom Pain, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there seems to be more gameplay because it's open world.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for your call, sir. You have a good night.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for tonight's Hate Live episode. And I want to thank you very much for being patient with me after, sorry, I'm closing Skype right now so I don't get any more pop-ups. For being very patient with me over these past month and a half when I have not had a chance to do it because I was so inundated with gameplay. I hope that you've enjoyed the return of Hate Live. Please spread the word. Let everyone know that it's back because a lot of people might not know because I didn't really, go nuts promoting it. And people do like the show. So thank you for being here. Whether it was live on stream tonight on Twitch or whether it was over on YouTube on the King of Hate Vlogs. Thanks for watching Hate Live. I will say this, we will have a Hate Live next week as well. Let's see what happens with all gaming news and everything. I'm sure I'll have lots to talk about in regards to Infamous Second Son, the possible conclusion of Dark Souls 2. We're going to have a lot to talk about next week, so Hate Live will be next week as well. Thank you all for following, for watching, for spreading the word. I'm Darkside Phil, and for Hate Live, have a good night, and I will see you for new gameplay right around the corner. Peace out. See you then.